know if you know this. We are rabid for all of your work. Olaf might be a favorite. I'm not gonna lie. Is he a favorite? Just checking. But overall, how has Toronto treated you this weekend?
It's treated me really well. I mean, you guys have been incredible. Forgive me, my voice is a little shot. I sound more like Ursula than Olaf there. But Toronto's one of my favorite places.
Love it.
I shot an independent film called Pixels here.
Make some
years ago, I shot another movie called A Rocker here, and I absolutely love it every time. I love coming back. It's one of my favorite cities.
Thank you so
much.
much.
That's why I made this my first expo ever.
Come on! We apologize for bringing such joy that we took your voice for a little bit, but I'm sure it'll heal up quite nicely. So in order to save the bit of your voice, what we're going to do is we're going to sing to Josh at the end of the panel. We're going to let him save his voice, and we're going to show him.
Thank you for serenading.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna it's going to get syrupy, just you wait. But I got a couple of questions for you. Olaf may be one of the most fan-adored Disney characters since Robin Williams' turn as the genie. Right? When did it click for you how significant that character had become to the pop media?
Well, what's interesting is the reason that I so wanted to play this character was because in 1992, November of 92, I sat in the theater and I watched Aladdin for the first time.
Come on.
And I literally turned to my mom as Robin Williams finished You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me. And I said, I'm going to do that one day. I'm going to do that one day. And so the idea that this character has become, you know, this iconic thing was beyond my wildest dreams. Even though I said I wanted to do it, I never imagined he would become that thing.
Of course.
So it's been incredible. I never imagined it was going to be this big.
That's awesome.
And we made the movie, and the first time I saw it, we saw it at a screening on the Disney lot, and the movie finished, and my wife looked at me and she goes, and my wife hates everything I do. So
that's a good
I expected her to be like, this is hot garbage. She looked at me and she said, this is special. And I go, it is, right? She goes, no, like this is like old school Disney special.
Yes.
And so, you know, I grew up in the second golden age of Disney animation. Little Mermaid, Aladdin. And I feel like we're in the third golden age right now. And being a part of movies like Moana, Zootopia, modern day classics, it's a joy, it's a thrill, it's an honor.
Now, Disney has snipers, we know this, so I'm not going to ask you anything about Frozen 3. No one's going to ask anything about Frozen 3. You're not even going to mention Frozen 3, or else you might turn into a sleeper agent and try to kill us all. We're not doing that. What I am going to ask you is, finding your voice in the character seems almost effortless with your performance. You do it so naturally. Is that a matter of well-crafted technique, or do you very relentlessly only grab roles that make sense for your voice?
No, you know what's funny is if I could do it all over again, I would not have let that snowman my voice. I would have created a different voice because it's very weird being in a supermarket and having a little child like this. So that was my first big mistake. But no, you know, people tell me I have a very unique voice. And so as much as I like to try to change it up, I just did a musical called Gutenberg where I got to play like 50 different roles. So I enjoy doing different voices. People seem to like my voice, so I try to give it to them when I can. When I have it.
I mean, that's what happens. You give it to all of us. Voiceover and live action both have their strengths and their weaknesses. What are your favorite parts of either in your career?
Okay, well, you know, for me, I love a challenge. Right now, I think I can say this. I'm writing a movie called Spaceballs 2. the challenge with something like that is this is an iconic film that means a lot to me as a fan. That means a lot to you as fans. So the challenge there is matching the fan expectation, doing something that not only achieves everything that Mel Brooks achieved with the first film, but that honors the legacy of Mel. And I try to take that approach with everything. When we were doing Frozen 2, I said to Chris and Jen, the directors, I said, it can't just be a rehash of what made the first one so good with regard to Olaf. He needs to grow. And I said, in the first one, he is a toddler. Then in the second one, he needs to be adolescent. He needs to be going through like the terrible twos. And so like, he's much more curious, right? Things like, Samantha, that was all improv, because it was just, I wanted a different flavor. So with Frozen 3, I'm gonna challenge all of us to find new comedic avenues. So each one is different. I'm directing a movie for the, I'm doing a movie about Chris Farley, one of my idols. And again, new challenge, you know, new opportunity to challenge myself and hopefully challenge you guys as my fans to expect and see new things that you haven't seen from me. So that's what I look to achieve.
Dude, okay. Off book, I am so proud of you for, yes, I said it.
Thanks,
for
Mom.
putting that spotlight on classic films as well as beloved actors that people of this generation might not know about, and kind of saying like, no, let me tell you the stories that built who I am, and these are some of the people that I aspire to. Thank you for that. Like, that's awesome.
It's a privilege, it's an honor. You know, getting to work with people like Mel Brooks is what is that?
It's a class.
I feel like I'm in Karate Kid Part 2 right now.
That's a reference, y'all.
But it's one of those things where you dream of this stuff as a kid, and then you're sitting there opposite these legends, and they're listening to you. They're taking advice from you. It's surreal. It's incredible. I'll give you a quick story. I'm breaking so many.
Oh! Put your cameras down. Put your cameras down.
So I'm sitting with Mel Brooks, and I'm pitching him Spaceballs, pitching the whole sequel thing. And you know, he doesn't necessarily watch the newer movies. So I'm pitching the whole thing out to him, and he's listening for like half an hour. And at the end of it, he goes, Josh, it sounds like you really got your finger on the pulse. And it's like hearing that from like somebody of that ilk. It's incredible.
It's absolutely amazing. First of all, your Mel Brooks impression is spot on. Let's get that out of the way. But no, I think that is a wonderful, wonderful accolade to come from a legend. To that end, actually, Andre the Giant's performance as Fezzik is iconic. What was the one thing that you knew you had to get right in the Princess Bride reunion table read?
I was so terrified when they asked me to do that.
Oh.
It was the whole cast and the whole original cast and me. One of these things is not like the others. You know, I wanted to honor him in every way that I could, while also bringing a bit of myself to it. And you know, there's a sweetness to Andre's performance, even though he literally is a giant, of course, and wears that moniker proudly. I am not. I'm a horizontal giant.
Wow.
And so I wanted to find that sweetness and mix it with a little bit of that, like, you know, larger than life quality. And that was during the pandemic. And I also, during that time, was asked to do a reading of the Goonies where I played Sloth, opposite the original cast. And I'm like, why do I keep being cast as monsters?
Or the most iconic fan favorite characters.
Again, another sweet giant.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We had some fan questions that were submitted. So Geek Gal 2006 from Instagram. Are you here, Geek Gal? No? Okay, that's all right. Next time. Out of all your roles, which are you the proudest of portraying, and why is it not Bear Claw from New Girl?
Thank you for that question, Zoe. People love Bear Claw. It's so cool. Game Wolf really connected with Robinson. Book of Mormon. I was involved with that from the very beginning. And getting to build something from the ground up over 3 years that I honestly thought was going to last 3 months on Broadway. I was like, we're screwed. We're never going to talk about fucking frogs. It's not a show that Broadway folks are going to go see. And then 15 years later.
That's right. That's right.
Still a thing.
Make some noise for you.
Yeah. Surreal. It's the coolest gift ever. Seeing all these people reinterpret something that I gave birth to is it's pretty amazing.
Proud Papa moment if I ever heard it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Musical Geek _90 on Instagram asks, which do you find harder? Broadway, voice acting, or movies and TV?
Broadway is the hardest thing in the world. When I did Gutenberg, I think I lost 30 pounds sweating. You know, you are 8 shows a week is no joke. Especially with a musical. You know, as much as it looks like I am, I'm not a natural dancer. I know that's shocking to you. But it's also the most rewarding because you have this, right? You have this communal experience where we all get to share in a unique moment that nobody else will have, right? This is, you know, it's a one of a kind. Each show is different. Each audience gets something different. You know, that's why I love that. I think it's really beautiful.
Come on, make some noise. Brian Nussbaum from Facebook. Brian, are you here? Hey! He's here! Yay! Since you're a Disney legend, what is your favorite Disney attraction?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Well, yes. Good answer, John.
Same.
This is that an attraction? I'm an OG guy. So I grew up with a place called Epcot Center.
Come on.
And there is a ride that still exists, but it's really different, called Journey into Imagination. It's different. That is probably my favorite ride of all time. It does. Very different than the one I grew up with. Yeah. But oh yeah. I gotta go slow it down. So that is Journey into Imagination is probably my favorite.
Love it. Haley C. Brown 3 from Instagram. Haley, are you in here? No? Hey, Haley!
Hi. Oh, this is embarrassing. She came up to me yesterday and I said, can you stand up for a second? So she was wearing this and I said, oh, what Hogwarts house are you from? And she looks at me and she goes, I'm Anna from Frozen.
So the question is, what Hogwarts house would Anna be in? See, that's what he was asking you. Yeah. I picked up what you were putting
That was so good. I gotta watch those movies.
Well, apropos, her question is, what is your favorite part about filming Frozen 1 and 2?
The freedom to do whatever I want to do. Like, those guys give me, some might say, too much leverage. The first thing I ever was Olaf's introductory scene. And they used 3 words. They said, he's innocent, he's naive, and he's a newborn. And that was all I needed. And so I started coming up with things like yellow and snow. No. And so ever since we did that, it's been chaos. You know, I've been impaled. It was not something I ever thought would be in a Disney film. And it's like I keep daring them, and they keep calling my bluff.
You're gonna learn.
Oh, one day they're gonna learn.
Frozen 14, he's like, okay, done, I'm not doing it. Sir Michelle from Facebook wants to know, is there a genre you haven't explored yet that you may be interested in trying?
I'm doing a lot of dramas. I just did 2 dramas that are coming out next year that I'm really excited about. I want to play a villain. It's not a genre, but I want to play a villain. So I kind of did in a crazy movie called Little Monsters, horror film.
Love that one!
With Lupita Nyong'o. I played a crazy lunatic in that movie. But yeah, I want to play it. I think I want to play a villain. So. Oh, LeFou. He's a villain. You know what? When Gaston is a villain. When I read the original script of Beauty and the Beast, the live action, we obviously I read the script of the cartoon 20 years after it came out. I was like, oh, this is so good. When I read the live action script and they offered me that role, originally it was sort of just the cartoon character got slapped around and it was a bit. And I kind of was like, it's not for me because I wanted it to be something different. And to their credit, they really let me kind of run with that and make him more complicated, which I really enjoyed. So I don't really think.
And he was a snowman too.
And he was a snowman. I'll tell you guys, I told this to somebody today. So there's a moment in the Beauty and the Beast cartoon where LeFou's covered with snow. It becomes a snowman. I tried desperately to get them to put me in snow in the film. And they were like, it's just too meta. That's the point. Yes!
Dang, that stinks. That would have been amazing. Okay, so we've got just a couple more from the sheet here. Mackie 1982, what a good year, from Twitter asks, what's your favorite song you've gotten to sing in one of your movies?
Oh man. There's a song in Wedding Ringer called Put the Weed in the Coconut. Probably Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. It was, you know, I've done Broadway musicals, I've done animated musicals. Kind of, that movie was a fusion of both in a way that was really rewarding.
Of course.
You know, getting to do choreography, getting to build this large musical number from scratch, make it my own with the iconic Evans. It was a real joy.
That's awesome. Last question. This one is from Ash1Spark from Twitter. What is your favorite Olaf line?
You're right. I like warm hugs is one of those lines that transcends. So long after I'm gone,
Which would be a long time from now.
Which whatever I'm fighting right now could be very soon.
Stop it!
That line will still exist in the vernacular. I hope. I think it will.
Absolutely.
And that's why we do what we do, right? We want to give you guys something that you can come back to for years and years and years. You know, it's surreal that a movie like Snow White, that my grandparents saw in the theaters, and that my mom saw in the theater as a kid, and that I saw in the theater as a kid, and that my kids have seen in the theater as kids, is really incredible. That I have one of those, and I get to be in one of those. And no matter what crazy thing comes out of my mouth, it's Olaf, and there are plenty of batshit crazy things. I like warm hugs is the essence and the epitome of that character. You know, and every time somebody comes up to me and says, "Can I get a warm hug?" It's so beautiful that, you know, people feel that, and it means something so spiritual to so many people. So take that, Frosty. We have a healthy competition.
I think now is the time for us to offer you a warm hug by way of a song.
I love it.
How about y'all join me in singing "In Summer" to Josh Gad?
Okay.
Can we do this? Can we do this? Try not to sing. You gotta protect your voice. But I know when the song hits, sometimes you just gotta.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Okay, sure. All right, so I think we're gonna bring up this song. We got a video that we're gonna play along, and I want you guys to sing your freaking hearts out.
This is the first time I've been serenaded with one of
Come
my
on,
songs.
so we gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Oh, she's standing up. All right, I love it. Kids are put in the light buzz, and I'll be doing whatever snow does in summer. It's rich in my hand, my snow up against the burning sand, probably getting gorgeously tan in summer. Finally see the summer breeze blow away with the storm. Whenever it happens to solid butter when it gets warm. And I can't wait to see what my buddies all think of me. Just imagine how much cooler I'll be in summer. Put it together, it just makes sense. Winter's a good time to stay in the cuddle, but put me in summer and I'll be out. Hold on to my dream, relaxing in the summer sun, just letting off steam. Oh, the sky will be blue, and you guys will be there too. When you finally do the rising thing to do in summer. I won't be able to work for Frozen 3, so you all have a job.